And we mentioned about the Shalish Imais and Sheva Kafulais, the 3 mothers and the 7 doubled. And what we said was the 3 mothers are referring to Chachma Bina Das. Those are intellectual powers, energies. And then there's Shiva Simei Habinyan, the 7 days of the creation, which refer to the 7 emotional attributes, and Chesed, Gevura, Teferes, all of those remaining spheres from the 10 spheres. So that is the altogether 10. So 3 plus 7 is 10, and those are the 10 powers of the soul, and they correspond to the 10 levels, the 10 spheres that emanate from Hashem. And V'kach b'nefesh ha'adam, similarly in the soul of a person, that's divided into 2. There's seichel and midos. And we said the seichel is koilel chachma bina v'das. Seichel, the human intellect, includes the chachma, which we said was the flash of wisdom. Bina is understanding, and das is connection. Das is the ability to connect with what we understand. And v'hamidos hein ahavas Hashem upachtoi v'erosoi ulefaroi. The midos, the emotional attributes, are the love of Hashem, fear of Hashem, reverence, and honoring Hashem, faroi, beautifying Hashem. And so Chabad, Chochma Bina and Das, Nikru Imais, it's called the mothers, because it's Makar, Umakar Lamidos, it's the source of the midos of the emotions, because Ki midos hein toldos Chochma Bina Vadas, because the midos are the outcome of Chochma, Bina, and Das. So there is a intellectual process, and that intellectual process creates the emotions. Ubir ha'inyan, and to explain this inyan, ki hine ha'seichel shebenefesh hamaskeles, the intellect that is in the divine soul's intellectual faculties, haseichel shebenefesh hamaskeles shu hamaskil kol davar, which understands all things. So the seichel part is called Nikra b'shem Chachma Koyach Ma. It says in the Zayar that what is Chachma? Chachma is a combination of 2 words. Chachma comes from Koyach and Ma, the power of what? It's a question that Chachma asks. What is this? It's inquisitive. It doesn't understand something. And it's the power, which means the potential. It's the koyach. It's the potential at this level of chachma. It is an undeveloped, and it's raw. It's still undefined what the meaning of something is. But you have that little flash of wisdom that you are starting to understand, starting to catch on that there's something there, but it's totally undeveloped. And it needs to be drawn down into Bina to actually understand it. And this is the way the mind works. When you bring this potential into payal, into action, into fruition, that you meditate in your mind, lahavin davar la'ashura, to understand something in its fullness, in its proper meaning, la'amka, in its depth, mitoich eze dvar chochma hamuskel b'sichloi, starting from the dvar chochma, the raw, undefined chochma that is in your mind. When you develop it, when you meditate on it, that is called Bina. This contemplative process is called understanding or cognition. And Vehein Heim Avaim. Now, these mental exercises are the father and the mother that produce the child, hamelidos, that give birth to Avas Hashem, v'yerasoi upachtoi. They give birth to love of Hashem, fear, and awe, or trepidation. So what we just explained was that the way to really come to a feeling of love and fear of Hashem is going to be based on our intellectual exercise. If we exercise properly our intellect, we will develop a love and fear of Hashem. Of course, it's very hard to develop a love and fear of Hashem because we don't really see Hashem, and we have to convince ourselves and contemplate, and by constantly doing this, ultimately we will be able to develop a love and fear of Hashem. But we're dealing with something that is intangible, and hard to relate to because we don't see Hashem, and therefore it takes a lot of work in order to develop this love and fear of Hashem. See, the seichel, the intellect that's in the mind, when it goes thinks deeply, bigdulas Hashem, the greatness of Hashem. So there's three things that it thinks about. When you think about the greatness of Hashem, what are the three things you think about? So number one is Eichu Memale Kol Almin. You think about how Hashem, his existence, fills all the worlds. This is a Kabbalistic idea called Memale. And that is in contrast to another Kabbalistic idea called Soivev. The Soivev Kol Almin, that's the second thing that we talk about. We think about how Hashem's existence transcends all the worlds. And this refers to two separate ways how Hashem, how godliness affects the worlds. There's one level of godliness that encloses itself in the worlds, and each world it's able to absorb, it's able to connect with a different level of godliness, because on that world's level it can handle this type of godliness. So that's called memale. Memale is the ability that within this level of godliness to fit itself according to the needs of the receptacle. So for example, memale kol almin would be a level of godliness that in some places will be a little more revealed, in some places a little less revealed. It's the ability of filling the world according to what the world can handle. That's called memale kol almin. Then there's a level of godliness that transcends the world. And that idea is that it doesn't fit into the actual receptacle of the world, but it transcends it, means it's still there, but it doesn't become absorbed in it because it's beyond the level of the world to be able to contract itself into fitting into the level of where it's going to reside. And so that's the level of Soivev Kol Almin. So again, we said two things. We said Memale Kol Almin, which is the level of godliness that fills the world, and Soivev, which literally means it surrounds the world. And the reason we call it surrounding the world is because it's beyond the ability of the world to handle it. And it doesn't contract itself to the world, so it transcends the world, and that's why it's called Soivev. It surrounds it. And then there's the third thing, and that is a very high level of godliness, that Kula Kamei Kaloi Choshev. And that third meditation is that nothing before Hashem, everything before Hashem is considered like nothing. Kula Kamei Kaloi Choshev. Everything Kamei before Hashem is like loy, is like nothing. And that's a very high level, meaning that the only real existence in the world is Hashem, and everything else is zero. And when you think about these three meditations, noilda v'nesayrra midas yiras haraymumus b'moichoi umachshavasoi. As a result of this these contemplations, so you will noilda, be born and awakened a midah of yiras haraymumus, a sense of reverence in your mind and in your thoughts. Lira ulespishesh migdulasai yisparach, to revere Hashem and feel shame in His presence, just like I guess in the presence of someone great, someone powerful, that you would feel awed before them. The same thing would be before Hashem. How much more so before Hashem? She'ein la soif v'tachlis, which Hashem is limitless. Hashem is the powerful. And upachad Hashem b'liboy, and then after you have this intellectual experience, then you will have in your heart a feeling of trepidation in your of Hashem in your heart. V'shuv, and then after that, your heart will be ignited. Yislahev liboy bi'ahava aza kerishve eish. Your heart, as a pasuk in Shir Hashirim, that your heart will be a flame with a great love, ahava aza, a strong love, a powerful love, kerishve eish, like a flaming fire. And so that is the process of how the faculties work. That first it starts with the intellect, and then it goes into then the emotions are awakened. And this flame will give you that longing, that chafetza, that desire, and shuka, strong, powerful desire, lust for the greatness, the greatness of Ein Sof Baruch Hu, of Hashem. And Vihi Kalos HaNefesh, this is the languishing of the soul, the longing of the soul, Kedachsiv Nichsafa V'gam Kolsa Nafshi, as it says, my soul has a desire and longing, Gam Kolsa Nafshi, Uchsiv Tsama Nafshi Lelekim, my soul thirsts for Elikim, for Hashem. And it says another pasuk, my soul thirsts for you. So this is the feeling of kalois hanefesh, that you awaken a great desire for Hashem, a great longing for Hashem, as it's spoken about in many of the svarim, like Chevas Halvavos and so on, that the person will reach a level of this longing for Hashem. The truth is, we sing it in the Yedid Nefesh. And the Yedid Nefesh on every Friday, and well, we sing it Friday. The Lubavitch custom is to sing it Friday night before Shabbos. That Nichsava Gam Kolsa Nafshi, my soul has a great longing for Hashem. That's the soul that we are we're desiring that connection with Hashem that we get on Shabbos. That a whole week long we're hungry for this connection to Hashem. We feel sick because we are like a homesick for Hashem. We feel that great longing for Hashem, and only on Shabbos are we able to enjoy seeing Hashem, who we haven't seen a whole week. And that's the inyan of kalois hanefesh, the longing of the soul. So that's we're going to stop here. Everyone have a wonderful day, and we'll see you at Metz Hashem tomorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.